So, hello and welcome to another Injee update video, and we have got exciting news. So we have released Injee 0150. Uh, and the thing is, like, you can export Injee JSON stuff to SQL statements that can create tables. So we'll see how that can be done. So you have a documentation over here, and this is where the export documentation is. So yeah. So you know that you can back up Injee. If you're using it, you can back it up, and that's the thing, and it'll be in a backup file and all those things. But even if you give it to a DB engineer, like he needs to go through the backup file, and he needs to see what columns are there and what tables, and Injee also behaves something like NoSQL. So maybe your first record in users table can have column name, and second record can have first name and last name and all those stuff. So because this is a prototyping database, right? So that's the thing. So then yeah, it becomes tough for him to create a table and what to say, and so it becomes tough to what to say to create a real database from Injee applications, and one needs to communicate really well with the front end developer to know what is right stuff and what is not the right stuff. So we want to mitigate that. So what we have done is we have created a way where Injee just creates SQL for you, right? So you just do your front end application, and for creating the database, Injee just creates SQL. So first for that, let's run Injee. So of course, like we prefer Docker, right? So you just give this command, right? So and look, I've already put three folders, like okay, like backups, files, mocks, and views. Okay, so I've just put okay, so four folders. So now I'm just pulling Injee from Docker Hub. Hopefully, yeah, it's already there. So now I'm just running Injee using this command. Look, I've already given this commands and created these folders. So that's the thing. So and I just need to run Injee. Right? So that's the thing. Okay, so I'm in the folder where I'm running Injee. So in this terminal, so like in this terminal, yeah, Injee is running. So let me just give ls, and all these things are there. So now let me just create. Let me go to this SQL export and create a table called books. Right. So and it has a lot of stuff. Okay. So yeah. So and let me just hit enter and see what happens. Yeah, looks like something gets created. Let me also create another table like okay, so uh, listing tables. Okay, like okay, let me create another table called users. So I'm just creating it. Alright. So now I want to back up this. Okay, I just want a table creation script for all this stuff. So all I just need to do is okay, I know that okay, there is a folder called backups, right? So that's the thing. So what I'll just do is like okay, like I'll just copy this. Uh, in this folder backups, I just want a SQL script called tables.sql, right? So that's it. So it says like, okay, like saved file backup tables.sql. So, okay, so that's the thing. So now I just list it. So now you just have the creation script, right? So this is the creation script for creating books, and this is for creating users. Okay. So maybe like if my PG admin is running, okay, so Postgres hopefully is running, I think. Okay, so let me see whether I can just create it. So we are now concentrating only on Postgres. So we don't want to concentrate on any other database. So So like, do I have tables? Okay, like, yeah, I just want to delete all these things. Just, how to delete? Yeah, delete. And there is another thing called this one. So delete. Yeah. So I just deleted. So in my database called Injee, there are no tables, but I'll just what to say, put this SQL editor tool now, this query tool, right? And what I'll just do is like I'll just copy the script. Okay, like let me just open with Codium, like Codium or my Z editor. Z, what to say, backups and tables.sql. Hopefully it opens. Okay, right. Okay, fine, right. So I'll just copy this stuff, put it over here, and I'll just run it. How to run it? Yeah, sure. Okay, this is query is successful and in this tables, yeah, like books, you've got books with all these columns and you've got users with just few columns. Like, so yeah, Injee creates this ID as primary key and it does have this timestamps created at and updated at, along with the other columns you've created. In users, it's name, and in other columns, it is whatever. So yeah. So depending on your last inserted data into the table, like let me come to the documentation, like depending on the last inserted data, Injee also knows the column type. Okay, so the reason why we are only looking at the last inserted data during what to say SQL creation is because like yeah, like maybe you might have different column names or you might have even created a record without a column because Injee stores it as JSON. Like it's not like a normalized DB or okay, it's not like a RDBMS, but it behaves like RDBMS to you. But yeah, it just stores as a JSON, right? Okay, so all this record discrepancy will be there. So just to make sure you want to get the right SQL, just hit just what is it? Insert a last record that has the right columns and right data types. So if you give JSON string type, it becomes varchar in SQL. That is like when Injee is generating SQL. If you give a number, it becomes int. That is, and but if you give a decimal, yeah, it becomes like decimal. Oh, okay, I need to remove this. Okay, there is no null, so there is a bug in my documentation. And date, you can give it like this, and this get executed. This get what to say converted to date in create statement, and what to say like, for example, over here like published state. Okay, so if you come over here and see in our script over here, right? So the published is like this, and the pages it actually becomes what to say integer because of course it is integer. So that's how it is. So yeah, like and yeah, this null I need to remove. Like there is nothing called null. So I just need to remove. So I'm sorry about that. So this is how SQL export in Injee works. I hope yeah it makes your life a little bit more easier. And we will put more and more features in it. So like so all these features are completed, but yeah, there are few features. The DB export is now completed, so it'll come over here and this upcoming flag will be removed. But yeah, we do have some things like okay, visual admin, GraphQL, and export to different frameworks, and this thing called joystick. Okay, so all those challenges are there. So yeah, we'll just do it. So I hope yeah, uh, it what to say makes your life a little bit more easy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until we meet in next Injee video, bye and happy front end development.